that stops. Yay! Hello, welcome nobody. Let me just grab you over from the other places. One moment. What is the link for this? This is a... There's the link. I'm all good. There we go.
Snip that bits of the video off.
Yes, excellent. It's not the other thing. Hello, yay! Some of you found me already. It works now. Yes. Yeah, I've been learning how rubbish the YouTube creator is. I'm just going to wait a moment till people jump over. Did you get any sort of alert, or have you just gone to the main page to find it? Let me just post on Facebook. There we go. Yes. Yay, most of you have come back. I just want to edit on the posts I've made. It selected the wrong webcam and then it wouldn't let me change it, and then I had a small panic, but I think the mic was on, so I'm doing a little bit of panic. Here we go. Let me just post on this. New link. Oh no, people are panicking. No. Very sorry about this. I've got lots of cool things to show you, promise. Just straight to Baggy's Cave. I don't want anyone that's just watching the blackness and then it ends and they get sad. Leave this page, go to here. Big chunk of you are here. There we go. Could hear the panic. I did get Andy, YouTube specialist, over, and he decided that there's absolutely nothing. This link. One more, and then I'll actually say hello and look at screen. Edit post. Edit posts. No? Cool. Right. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to my show. There is no panic or general mess up in between. If any of you do have a separate tab, if you could post over on the failed video, if you've still got it up, the link to this, that would help people come find it. So yes, hello, good morning. It is Sunday. It is just 10 minutes past 10 and it's coffee time. If you've not been along, there's not normally 10 minutes of blackness and panic at the start. Normally just get straight ahead. So what I talk about is a catch up on what's happened this week, some plans for next week, a little bit of show and tell. Ooh, jingly noise. Other cool stuff, but you will have to wait and get to that. Yay, people seem to have found it. This is good. Yay. Do that. Yeah, I'd got Andy to do me a bit of a YouTube tutorial, but it turned out that I need some extra software to be able to do cool stuff. So we might have a go at that before next week, but we'll find out. That would be pretty cool, and be able to do extra stuff. But with this, the way I'm currently doing it is once it's on, I can't do anything about it. So yeah, we were stuck in the darkness. But now we're into the lights. So hello. Got all sorts. I've got minis, books, rules to show you. So hopefully it will be worth all the shenanigans. And it's nice and sunny. So what a lovely day. What shall we start at? The week. It's been another productive week. I've been in the office every day, which is a pandemic goodness. I did have to go. Oh yeah, I got a surprise house inspection on Monday. So I got in, opened my laptop. One of my neighbours had messaged me to say that there was basically like, hope you're prepared for the house inspection. I went, what? Found the email and pretty much went, and the laptop's closing and now I'm going home. So they had actually contacted me, but I hadn't seen it, which is a bit rubbish. So I had to run home and make sure I could collar them on my various home issues, which, if anyone's followed, it's been 1 year and 3 months or something since I've had hot water or heating. So maybe something will happen now. But let's get on with it. So I don't know where to start. There's so much cool. So the week we've had just loads of those jobs. I think I had the similar last week, where it's loads of those. I'm unwrapping miniatures here. Those sort of tasks that are just annoying but need to be done and kind of get pushed on. I had a big clear of all those tasks, well, a large amount of those tasks, which is great because it's freeing me up some brain to do all the creative stuff and not the sort of work chores. Right, morning everyone who has turned up. No pigs. There's pigs very close. I can see a pig butt and I can see a smooshed pig over there. So I've started to make notes. So even though I'm humming and hawing, I've also got a coffee, which is yes. I was a bit later setting up today. I was about to get up and one of my friends messaged, and then I realised the time afterwards. I went, whoop, better get up. Where do we start? So I guess start with the week. So yeah, Monday could have been a cancel because I did pretty much have to just run home, and that meant I couldn't do any post. But I made it up by doing loads of there's so much like computer admin paperwork you would not believe. It's not all just playing with models and going wee, though they are the perks, definitely the perks. What have I got today? Oh, I have a topical gender mug. In my fretting around, I got Andy to make the coffee, so I get to do coffee review as well. And he has picked a suitable mug. It's a Grace Pertry mug, by the way. Do you do a mini like Vasquez from Aliens? Are you thinking of doing one? I am a fan of Vasquez from Aliens, but I will not be doing a Vasquez from Aliens model. Sorry about that. It is of the Aliens IP. What other news have we got? I got the grant. If you've been following my get that off my list there. Woo, look at me knowing what I'm doing, even though I started with darkness. I mentioned that I've been trying to get some sort of government money from all of the. Apparently, there's a pandemic, so that's been a bit of a major stress trying to do that. I didn't get what I would like from the grants, but I got something, so that's a bonus. From all the stress, I've been in more of a just general happiness, sort of going with the chill a bit more after having a long time of stress and panic, and now I'm just trying to adapt. And it sounds terrible. Make the most of it. A bit how I was at the start of the pandemic. I was a bit like, right, this is a new challenge. How do we do this? And then I sort of sloped into just the tired exhaustion that everyone's in and the hopelessness. And you've obviously followed all that through the Sunday morning coffees. But now I'm back in a right. Come on, what can we actually do here? So I did get. I can't fully talk about it, but I had some issues with several of the monies, so the grants and loans and stuff like that, because they're not as simple as you think. They are full of loopholes and just general awfulness. So the main one that I should have got, there was a very small, annoying, horrible technicality. So I ended up getting a backup council loan grants, free money, although it's not, because I've missed all the trade. It does not even go near the amount of money that I would have made over the trade shows and all that sort of stuff. But it's just reaching that point of acceptance now. And I guess a bit of being grateful for what I can get, even though I should fight, I just don't have the energy. So there's a lot of companies I know that are not getting anything at all. So to get something is good. It did mean that I immediately gave it away to my bills, but it meant that they're done. So when you go, hey, I only got the grant, I'm not sat there like, yes, all this free money, what should we do with it? Like, it paid off the bills that were waiting for some cash. It was not as much money, say, as I needed or expected, but it was something. So I still can't count that as good news. So that's rather good. Oh, there's an official Aliens game coming out. This is why I've got a cool action figure of Vasquez upstairs. I was rearranging my action figures last night and then had her there. I was like, yes. I've got the Ripley and Newt one that's really nice, where she's sort of holding her as well. What else has happened? Back in the swing, I've wrote as one of my notes. I'm definitely back in the swing. It's I don't know if I mentioned before, it's very similar to my feelings last year, not last year, the year before. When I first moved here to Nottingham, I was very behind in everything. And I felt like, I said quite a few times, Bad Squid didn't really have a manager, it just had a packing person, because all I was doing was packing orders, doing the basic day-to-day sort of stuff to keep the business running, but no developing or creating anything sort of like that. Just move my legs. I can see a little horse there, a lion. So it's been a bit like that lately. I've just been doing the sort of bare essentials, and now that that's cleared, mostly there's still loads, but I don't have that background stress. Beautiful for now till something. I haven't checked the email since Friday, so God knows what's in there. What else? Yes. Thank you, everyone who's come along. There's a bunch of you there. If you can thumb up the video too, that helps. So yeah, I'm totally back in it. I was on a bit of a commission frenzy last week, so I've got a load of cool stuff. Quite a few different sculptors I've been in contact with as well, just to really get this some fresh stuff moving. I said about how I was a bit frustrated that we haven't really had that many female releases. We've been focusing on terrain because that's what we've been getting, but we haven't been. Yeah, we've just been a bit behind generally. So we've got our mini home front release that'll be coming later in the year. I'm getting back on the idea of doing this fantasy Kickstarter rather than just releasing them, but we'll see. Again, I'm not going to make any sort of hard promises. Goodbye, Daniel. Nice for you to come along. You're here every week, so that's good. I'm sure you'll catch up with the rest later, because there's lots of cool stuff that you will regret not seeing live, but I will forgive you. Oh, I could just move the mic because there's no fancy. I can't even put it there. It might just be me talking louder. I'll move this. I need a mini stand for it. Oh yeah, that's a bit nearer if that helps. What else? I've got gnome houses. Gnome houses were released. So on Friday, I spent the day hyping everybody up about gnome houses and gnomes and how cool they are and how we were going to release them. And then I got home and I had a nap, one of those death naps where you just die. And then I woke up so like, ugh. And somebody on Twitter has said, I'm ready for these gnomes. I'm refreshing the page. I was like, oh no, we better release them. Whoops. So I released them, but only a bit of a stealth Twitter release. So you might not know they're actually out. So if you want to have a look in the new section, I'll show you them shortly. I've got them here. The gnomes and gnome houses are available, and they are the best. Yes, my mug says, that's it. You never will surrender to a narrow view of gender. From the Queer as Folk album by Grace Petrie. She's very good. You should check her out. She's very funny on Twitter as well. I had a visit on Wednesday from Mr. Richard Clark, centre of controversy at the moment. He's excellent, and he came along, again, all socially distanced, which is a shame because I wanted to give him a big hug, but cannot. But he came over with, maybe this. There's no spoilers on the front, is there? Oh, what is this? Focus. Oh, it's a home front chain of command rules set. Oh, all here. Isn't that cool? So I've got to look through it, add my input. If there's any particular bits of models that I think, this is the first one, that I think are ready, that are good, but we don't actually have, then it means I can add them to that mini home front release. So basically, when this is released as an actual item that you can purchase, that you can have, it's free. It's going to be a free PDF. I might talk to Rich about doing a short run of just sort of cost price paper versions, just so people don't have to print it out, but I'll see if there's any sort of interest in that, because I think it's nice to have an actual thing as well. But yes, it will be free PDF. But yeah, once this is out, so it'll be available from me and the Lardies. Once it's out, there will at the same time I'll release this second wave, well, fourth wave of Homefront's sort of miniatures. So there's some that we didn't make in the Kickstarter because we didn't get to it, and there's a few I had ideas for afterwards. So they're kind of in the works at the moment. But then there's also some bits here. It's just he's got rules for dinner plate mines. I think, well, need dinner plates, don't we? Milk churn mines. Doing all the spoilering here. What else we got? So some of these little bits, I think, right, I'll get those made so they can come out at the same time. Ooh. Yeah, there's a few sort of guns. There's some stuff basically. So I'd like to do a little extra release to come out with this. So I need to have a look through it. I might even do that today. That would be lovely. He's been very busy with all the infamy, which has been selling like crazy, which I'm very pleased. It's always good when my friends do well, and even just when any war games company does well, because it's a hard time at the moment. So yes, this is wicked. So it's just some proof that things are happening. I know it's way later than we were going to. It's both our faults, probably mostly my fault. I always take the blame for things because, you know, there's been a lot on at the moment. But it means that, yeah, we can get them out, and you can start using more specific rules for your new lovely Homefront miniatures. And they're all out, remember? They're all available on the website. There's a few packs that aren't because we need to go back over their price and see what their RRP should be, or they're out of stock at the moment, things like that. But if you missed the Kickstarter, go have a look. You can go on the website. There's the new Homefront. There's the gnomes. So I don't know how well these have transported. I think the gnomes probably fell off. I only PVA glued them on, and then I was running. Oh no, he fell off too. So I'll show you them set. Oh no, you're still on there. Oh, these are still on. Again, we get the terrible attempt to autofocus. Ta-da! Yes, there we are. Got some good lights. So this is one of the homes. I've only PVA'd, so they're not on very strong. It was just for the photo. Why does it decide and then it changes? Come on. Why would it not focus? These are the technical things I'm going to go through with Andy. Because it's right there. Come on. Oh yeah, it definitely likes a face. But my face isn't there now, so I get it. I totally get why I'd want to zoom in on my face. So there's the house. There's two gnomes on it. We've got the little sexy line now gnome at the top in that like paint me like your French girls thing. Little sitting one on the stool there. So you can see the scale next to an Annie as well. So they're big. They fit with 28mm, but they're still big trees in 28mm. But of course, come on. Of course, you can use them in different scales as well. It all just depends how big or small you want things to be. So they're around 10mm, depending on what. Let's try that. But I've still got to be able to see. It's a bit better. They're just rubbish. Weirdly, my phone is way better, but what can we do? I've actually already filmed all of these, so I'll put these up afterwards. I've got a video that sort of tours around them and shows them off. It's just not uploaded yet, but I've got it. It already exists, so that'll show you it in better without my face in the way. So yes, that's one of these. So they're gnomes and gnome homes. So if you've already got things in mind that you'd like to put on them, you don't necessarily want the gnomes, that's okay. You can buy the houses separately. Or if you just want the gnomes, you can do that. And there's a multi-buy deal if you want loads of gnomes. So this is how they come. They come on one sprue like that. When I package them up, eventually I may have to cut the middle bit to fit in an actual packaging. But for now, yeah, this is never going to show. Let's try this. I've got to be able to see there. Come on, focus. Again, I've got these on video. and photo in their wonderful sharpness. It's so weird how it just doesn't want to know them. Yeah, when I get some software sorted, it might have a good part. Yeah, Infamy's actually made me want to do some Celts, but I've got too many things that I want to do at the moment. I am doing a very scattergun approach to the releases at the moment because I just want to give a love to a lot of our ranges at once. So we've got Vampires, Shield Maidens, Homefront on the go at the moment. Of course, this isn't gonna just give you a rough idea. Again, when you see the video and the photos, you'll get to see it better. But they're just so cute. So it's that, and there's the third one. And I was playing those with like little Polly Pockets. So they're 2 releases. You get a shopping channel, Annie. You save a little if you put them. If you buy the Gnometopia deal, you save a little bit where you get gnomes and the gnome houses. And if you buy gnomes separately as well, they're £8 for this. But the more you buy, they go down in price to encourage you to have whole armies of gnomes. That's what you want. Do it. So yeah, they are available now. I've just been very quiet about it. I pretty much awoke from my nap, released them, and then went back to my nap because I didn't want the lady that had been refreshing it to sort of turn into a skeleton whilst endlessly refreshing. So I mostly got it for her. But I'll do a proper, what's the word? Fanfare around the internet. Gnome swarms in Dragon Rampant. That is genius. That is a very genius idea. I've sent them to Dreadquill to paint, so that's exciting. He's been doing some lovely jobs on our terrain at the moment, so that is cool. I can cross gnome houses off my notes. Back in swing. Minis commissioned. Yes, I don't know if I've told you what any of them are. Vampire Queen. Oh, sorry, what did I say? Something out loud? Vampire Queen. Vampire Queen. No, we definitely will not be doing a Vampire Queen. Yeah, kind of. So I want to add to this fantasy range. I've got the fantasy buzz on just to do that short, small Kickstarter and then fit a bit of My Last Sunrise in. Not sure yet though. Again, it all sort of depends how things pan out. It's definitely not the time to be making specific plans at the moment. Oh, yawning. It's definitely contagious. I've got this little pot of gnomes here. Somebody has sent me this from my Amazon wish list. Ta-da! Thank you, whoever that was. Got quite a few bad squid things on the Amazon wish list. Don't make a big deal of it because it feels weird, but it says some people sent me things, so thank you. It didn't come with a note because it's from a third party, so thank you. And if you want to say who it was, thank you very much. Yes, Flying for a Country, American and Soviet women military pilots of World War II, which is another good read, because I'm going to do some more pilots. I might have a lot of reading today, actually. I did lots of chores yesterday, and the place is spiffing, so I feel I might be allowed to do a bit more. A bit of chilling and reading. That'd be nice. I could get a peek out. They were very chilling. There's a little row of them all flat out at the moment. I got sucked into the world of tanks. What was it? Tank Fest Live on Sunday. I watched that for longer than I should have. I had it on in the side tab while I was trying to work, and then before I knew it, I was just there going, "Damn, that's a tank. That's a tank." Ooh, and that was quite fun actually. And I watched a live tank show, so having the chat at the side was quite fun. And I totally got sucked into it and bought a TOG t-shirt. So while I was on their website purchasing this overpriced TOG t-shirt because I have no self-control, I saw they had a book sale on too, so I could not help myself with that either. So ironically, the books have come, but the t-shirt hasn't yet because it's from a different place. So I haven't really had much of a look at these, but I've got, this looks horrible on your kitchen table. So I've got this one because we are announced that we will be doing Germans. I'm going to be doing more of the sort of home fronty type things rather than the camp guards type stuff. But it's still interesting to sort of, there's not so many books on the subject, so the more bits of information I can get. This has got some good pictures in, actually. So Germany is always going to be a difficult one to do, but I really think it does need doing. Oh yes, Facebook should definitely not see that. Where are we? Oh, I think my Facebook ban ends tomorrow. One more day of not screwing up. One more day. Right. Oh yeah, I get that they had the World of Tanks game. To be fair, it made me want to play World of Tanks. Is it any good? So, I'm the perfect customer. I just tune in, watch them, and go, "Oh, I like that tank." By the way, we have merch. I'm on it. I was like, on it. Which one? Oh, yes. Oh, that's a bit more expensive than I'd like. I'm here anyway. Let's get it. Oh, while I'm here, let's get some books. Oh, if every customer was like me, it'd be amazing. The post has gone up for everywhere at the moment because we did have to put that up. I never like to make too big a deal because most people don't notice. But we have been taking a bit of a hit on the post for a while, so I've had to update it. The America, the America postage because of the whole zone free thing that's happened. So if you've missed it, America are now in their own zone. So there's domestic EU zone 1, 2, and 3. America's now the most expensive place to ship to, which is wild. But what I've done is I've gone through all of the pricing, and I spent quite a while doing that on Tuesday because it was Wednesday it came into effect. So I was like, this Tuesday. And what I've done, because I'm nice, I've obviously had to put them up because you have to, but I've made the tracked and signed options more tasty. So I've brought them down. So even though everything's gone up, I've brought them down, and I'm willing to sort of help pay for a bit of that shipping, basically, if you do tracked and signed. Because now the difference, a lot of it, so somewhere it'll be like, say, £15 normal shipping or £18-19 tracked and signed, because I think it'll make it's so worth getting that extra that what's it? My brain. I'm reading the side again and talking about World of Tanks. I'm like, oh no, I better talk. So basically we've made the international tracked and signed to America. I think we'd changed it for a few other places too. While I was there, I was feeling quite generous. So when you are buying abroad at the moment, make sure, have a little look at the options you've got, because you might find it's worth just upgrading a little bit. And again, that's not to help me. It means that we pay a little bit towards your shipping, but it means it's fully tracked and signed. And at the moment, some of the orders to America have been taking up to 2 months to arrive. And that's sort of crappy for both of us, because they obviously get people saying it's not here. And normally after a month, we'll reship things, and we always do it at our cost. And then it's like, maybe I'll get something packaged up to reship it, and then it'll appear. So I don't want to make people wait longer, but I also don't want to have to shell out for 2 loads, basically. So I do definitely recommend getting the tracked and signed, especially right now when everything's very topsy-turvy. And you get it way faster, and you know exactly where it is. And that's what's always the bonus. When something hasn't turned up and it's not tracked, we're like, it could be anywhere, I have no idea. But it can say where it is. And if they've tried to deliver and failed and all that, you can see. So yes, basically. And I've changed it on the shipping, so it says recommended on there. And I see quite a few of you have done that, so that's cool. Although my Facebook ban ends tomorrow, I will still be doing Sunday morning coffee on here. So it's all going to be here. What happens is I will just be back to doing some more little impromptu ones on Facebook Live, and I've missed doing that. Like when I was playing with these the other day, I was like, oh, I really want to do a little live to show them off, but I don't want to sort of fill the YouTube up with it. So oh no, Catherine's on the Tank Fest sale. What have we done? I should get some commission, shouldn't I? Yeah. Sorry, Tank Museum sale. No, I do not need any more games. Then I had a nice treat after my nap on Friday that they'd updated Animal Crossing. Like, I'm going to see now. Yes. Sorry, my leg. Oh yeah, I saw the tank slippers. They're good. I also purchased, as well as my Nazi Lady book, I just found another Homefront book. I am a sucker for any any books basically, and it got me with it's on sale, and they've always got extra photos that I might not have seen, or there might be an entire book, but there'll just be one thing in there that, oh my god, I just flicked to a random page and it mentioned Dr. Carrot. Yes. And Potato Pete, there he is. There's more information about Potato Pete there. Oh. And he sits and reads home front. Oh, Pete and Carrot. And they're out now too. So what a task I have to do is I've got so many minis to photograph. So I've got to photograph those just to update the pictures on the website. I'm finally going to get the packaging sorted because during lockdown, nobody's been... The shops have... So I sell to you and I sell to retailers as well. And the retailers haven't been ordering because they've either been closed or they've been sort of tightening the wallet because everyone's having a weird time. So the retail sales have been pretty much zero. And so the retail and trade shows are the main reason I have the lovely packaging, with the painted miniatures. So whilst I've also been tightening up all the wallet and stuff, it means that I've not paid towards getting those packaging done because it just didn't seem urgent at the time. But now things are starting to move a bit more, and I've got a lot that don't have packaging. They need it because it's lovely. I am going to be doing that. But the lights, maybe today. Although I don't really want to today. So that's that's a little bit, yeah. Kind of just want to chill rather than take photos. Maybe I'll do a little bit. We'll see how the light gets. I've got these lights here, but I like having some natural light as well. So I've got a lot of the World War IIs to show. Oh yes, these fellows! That wasn't on my list. So I was in the garage last weekend, I think, and I found the box of pain. And it's a box... It was labelled box of pain as well. Sip. Yes, the box of pain. It was some old greens from an older caster. And I hadn't been in there because it was just full of lots of stuff that reminded me of bad times. But I went through it. I found some greens. So I found greens for quite a few stuff that I've been looking for. And also... So I found Pete and Tom. I've only got Pete here at the moment. Or is it Tom? Again, don't expect it to actually show you. Come on. It's so weird. Why doesn't it... I'll just move it back here. Maybe I'll just hold everything by my face. You just have to zoom in. So yeah, this guy's cool, and I had him. So obviously had him molded. Andrew Taylor's painted him up, and then I've got the Lion King. He's so cool. I put a scale picture up, also painted by Andrew Taylor. Phil Hines painted both of them. I've also got some other stuff that I found. So I found the ogres. There's another horse that's never made production. So I found all the greens. And yes, they were cast and it just didn't work out. If you followed us for a while, we have been through quite a lot of casters and discovered every issue that you can possibly have. And I was thinking about it recently, about the, in a cheesy way, all of the trials that we have overcome. We've had quite a lot of really difficult times, casting related and just sort of general related. So when I'm a bit down, I think we've got through a lot and still here and thriving. So that's good. But yeah, we just had a lot of issues with different casters. The casters we have now are perfect. And I forget, sometimes I take them a bit for granted and then I remember what I had before. So these resins were cast, but even the first few castings just weren't very good. So I didn't release them and they kind of just got put in the box of sadness. Some of the miscasts of the horses I sold at Ravelli trade shows. There's a few of you with them because I put them in the mystery box for £1, just with a few bits that needed fixing up, and people bought them, which is ace. So I looked at them, and because they're older sculpts from Phil, it was before he'd started refining the bases a bit more. So the puddle bases just aren't very attractive. Whereas obviously I'm a fan of puddle bases, but I like them to be neat and solid, and they're not. Whereas they're lovely models, but the puddle bases sort of let them down a bit. So I was going to send them to Phil, and then you know when something crazy overcomes you. It was the crazy thought was I can remove the puddle bases myself. Maybe I didn't even have a knife. I just had clippers, and I started hacking away. But normally I'd be like precious green. But I've got to that point now where I'm, maybe in the earlier days I've been like, must handle carefully. Now I'm like, I reckon I can clip that. But I did it. It took me quite a while. And then I found a knife halfway through, which is very useful. So I clipped all the puddle bases off. So if you've got the ogres will be coming back into production. I clipped all the bases off those, so they're just way neater. And it was back when we thought everything had to have some sort of base, and now we've realised that it doesn't. So the ogres will be coming back in resin as they were. They'll just be nicer because our resin guys are amazing. And the horses, in theory, I've left it with the casters to let me know what they think. But so there's 2 of these, different types, and there's Lion King. They'll actually be in metal, assuming that works, which should work. So that'll be kind of cool, just to add to that. It's nice that I've found there were quite a few of Phil's sculpts that just kind of ended up in the sad box for whatever reason. So those latest, the lions and wolves we released last year were the same. Kind of wish I took the puddle bases off them, but when they eventually get remolded, we'll do that. I saw Fenris has released the wolves, a whole wolf pack, and they're so nice, and you should check them out. They're sculpted by Joe Brumby, and he's just got little pegs under the feet. I'm like, why didn't I think of that? So we're trying. It's these little details we try and do just to keep everything improving all of the time. So things like bases, we're trying to just make them as small as possible. So I don't like slotters, so we don't have those. Apart from the vampire range, and that's because I bought them from somebody, so they already had them. Oh yes, link me to that video of horses rolling on their backs. I need to see that. So we've got Phil. Oh yes, it reminded me finding all these old. Then they have a little trip down memory lane. I think, wow, these were sculpted 4 years ago, maybe even 5. And I used to hang out with Phil a lot when I lived in Cardiff, and he had a little space in our office at one point, so he'd come in and just sculpt. And kind of, yeah, just that flash down memory lane. And then I saw him doing a live sculpting on his group. He's Bear's Head Miniatures now. And I go, I kind of miss the old gang. So obviously I had to move away, so I haven't seen him for ages. So I commissioned him. Should I tell? I'm going to tell you, but you have to keep it a secret. So I've commissioned Phil to make me some alpacas. A little alpaca family. I've ordered them to be very fluffy. So you heard it here first. Alpacas. Yeah, I need to get Phil on. He's very good at animals and getting on some more animals. How cool is that? There's so many more animals I want to add. So. Alpacas! Wow, I'm actually getting to drink the coffee this time. This is cool. I've got some painted miniatures from Callum France to show you as well, who's recently added to our gang, which is exciting. Oh, don't. Tamsin says you're going to be an alpaca farmer. That's one of my dreams. I never will. It's just one of them where I just muse about my other life when I become an alpaca farmer. So I have in this fantasy land, I have alpaca and I have Angora bunnies, and I'm a yarn farm. So none of them get eaten. They're just there for yarn, and we do spinning and all this. It's a lovely yarn farm. I won't do a yarn farm because I won't be able to see Bad Squiddo. No worries, Gary. I'm going to look it up on YouTube. I'm sure if I put horses rolling on the backs, I'll see some amazing stuff. I saw some foxes laughing this week, and that made me happy. So, the wonder of the internet. Oh, no, this is what I'm going to do after this video. I'm just going to be looking at animals on YouTube. Alpaca versus corgi. Oh, yes, that's going on. So I've got these, again, it's not going to show them great, so I won't take too long going, ooh, focus. But these pictures will be going up. They need some tufts on, because I told Callum to leave them tuftless, and I'd put some on for my own little collection. So this is, come on, show it. There we are. Well, if I'm mean to it, it works. You see how dry my hands are. So that's the Amazon, the standard bearer, painted by Mr. Callum France. He's very good. Let's have a look. So if I'm, that's working. I've just got to get really close. Look how lovely. That's our Amazon Berserker Delphine. I do actually have a spinning wheel. I used to spin yarn. I made some lovely yarns, but I can't do it anymore. It's quite heavy on your hands anyway, and with my bust up wrists, it's just a no-go. I've actually still got a spinning wheel. It needs a bit of repair, but if anybody is looking for a spinning wheel, especially if they're local to Nottingham, let me know. It's a very nice one, and it's just sort of there at the moment, making me sad because I can't use it. Here's the Amazon Commander. Again, the camera never gives them justice. I don't know if you'll have seen the back of the cape. There's all these little details. These are all sculpted by Shane, who's working on some excellent stuff for us at the moment. Love her side eye. Yes. We got just reading the comments. Any chance more Shieldman vignettes? Hell yes! Yes! I have a... Oh! I can tell you. Depends if Jade's here. She missed us last week. I've got a vignette in the works of Jade, who is a Shield Maiden reenactor. And I got a video of her from last year. Was it last year? Can't remember the year before. Must have been last year. I got a video of Jade killing a man, turning around, getting very carried away, and doing a big victory roar. So I've got that video, and so I messaged her and went, "Is that okay? Can I make that into a video?" Oh yes. So we've made a few little adjustments to the, a couple of costume adjustments. So she's basically going, "Ah!" whilst standing on a dude who's like, "Oh!" on the floor. So it's still gonna be a champion model, but it's still a vignette in that sort of sense. So that's in the works too. Oh yeah, the squid on that standard bearer is amazing. What have we got? After ordering Friday lunch, Jarl is glued, undercoated, and painting her now. Excellent, Ryan. Look at that for swiftness on both of our parts. Where is Andy? He's going to take over my show. He's upstairs pottering about. Yes, that is correct, Peter. Good idea. I will get those onto it. Loving the armour. Yes. I was like, oh, what might... No. I got gold armour in Animal Crossing this morning, and it's clicked in my brain. I was like, oh yes, the new gold armour. I'm like, no, that's my avatar. Oh god. So I will head off shortly. It's been 45 minutes. Oh yes! Talking of Andy, I will be guest starring on the Andy and Rem show on on Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Write that down. Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. That's in 2 days. We will be talking we'll be talking lots of Bad Squiddo stuff. I'll also be involved in their roleplay campaign. I'm not quite sure what I've got myself into. So go give Andy 2D6 a follow. He's on the YouTube, and then you'll do the whole ring a bell and all that, and you'll get a notification, and you'll get to see me on a different channel, but only in 2 days. You won't have to wait a whole week. How exciting! New Soviets in the works? Yes, loads and loads. We're having this little dot about release because I found from Kickstarter that I get very focused on particular projects. And then it means that because there's a lot of effort gone into one, others can get a bit neglected. So I'm doing a bit of a scatter at the moment. So lots of releases of little bits. And then Soviets. So the Soviets are in the research, and they're in the briefs mode at the moment. Because there's going to be some wicked Soviets. That's going to be a big project this year. Keep tuned for that. There is going to be a lot of them. I just want to get some little bits out first. Because if you follow us and you're not into World War II, it'd probably suck if there's this massive World War II British campaign, then a massive World War II Soviet. And if you play anything else, then you're thinking, what about me? So I'm doing that first to just keep everyone placated. And then maybe that fantasy, little fantasy one. But that will be small. That's not getting out of hand. Soviets are probably going to get out of hand, but I've sent some stuff over to a sculptor about the Soviets this week or last week. So I've sent him the stuff with a note of details to come, so they're sort of scale models, so we can get working on some artillery for them, and there'll definitely be heckloads of SMGs and rifles and tank riders, as well as artillery, anti-tank stuff. Loads of different uniforms and different types, because they really want to go back to them and make a big load of difference on them. And then obviously next year we'll get onto the Germans too. And then eventually I want to do everything. The World War II is absolutely my favourite, and I want to really... So when you go, what will you be doing? Yes. Don't know when, but yes, it's coming. Everything is coming. We just can't release everything at once because it requires money. And yeah, if I got that full grant that I'm entitled to, it would have been excellent. My legs. Sorry, just moving my legs. And I've got some books of various World War II games, so I can see what sort of units are popular and all that sort of thing too for them. Might help me out with like my pack sizes to get it as good for you. Oh, Karen's licking Gregor's eye. It's a nice affection thing that they do. Oh, you licking the eyeball. Bizarre. So I've got ticked off all my things by showing you all of the stuff. Anything else before I bugger off? I'll finish the last bit of my coffee. And yeah, so next week, my legs. I did have Mr. 2D6 in to work. I made him work this week. So he did a load of packing of miniatures, and I think he'll be back next week doing more packing of miniatures. So if there's a problem, you can blame him. Is that Resident Evil top? Yes, it is. It's my favourite top, but very worn because I've had it for quite some time. Well, take the rest of the day off. That would be crazy. What? So I've got more paperworky stuff next week, but I'm very one-track focused, and this is cool that sorry. My legs, just grabbing my legs. So I've narrowed a lot of my tasks down. It means I can really start focusing on some other bits. Have you seen Sarissa's new trebuchet? I have. I was also thinking about that last night. It needs some... So I wanted to do female trebuchet crew from the start, and now they've got a trebuchet. That's perfect, and I'm already teamed up with them. I spoke to them. I spoke to Footsore about it too, because obviously they made it, I think, at the same time as Footsore doing the crew. And I saw Andy Hobday and said, "Ha! I need some crew too." So I go ahead. But now Paul here says the wheels could do with some giant hamsters. Oh god. Maybe. But we'll probably have some female trebuchet crew before giant hamsters, but we'll see. So that's reminded me I need to message Sarissa and ask them for a trebuchet and with the latest stuff that I have got on order. I've got the latest restock from Sarissa. I've added in quite a bit of their World War II range, so to go in the shop, and I've ordered their terrain tiles just for me though, so you have to go to Sarissa for them. But I ordered myself a pack because they look ace. So I want to put some of my terrain bits on there because that's just a really nice way of displaying things. It's mind blowing. But I've got not the big buildings because otherwise, when you stock stuff like that, you just end up with loads of dead money sort of sat there. But I've ordered loads of the little bits, so like the bike sheds, some of the radars. I think what else I got. It's a lot of the sort of £15, £10 and under little bits and bobs that I've ordered. And I think they'll just make there's just the World War II 28mm, because they'll make a really nice addition to your models. So you have World War II when you're buying them. Just thought it'd be a nice little experiment to see how they go. Rightio, I'm going to have to go. Goodbye. It's been excellent to see you. Thank you for coming along. It could be something where I wake up on a Sunday and go, oh no, I've got to do this stream. But it's not, and I really look forward to it. The only downer is it reminds me of how quick a week has gone. But we shall see. We shall see. Oh yeah, like a doom wheel. Bit. You're all bad influences. Right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do some chilling. I might read some of these books. I am. I'm gonna put another kettle on. I'm gonna put the kettle on. I'm gonna make some toast. I'm gonna read some books. So keep an eye out. Tuesday, 9:30. Andy2D6's channel. Be there. I'll put some posts up as well. He'll have a better live quality than myself. Goodbye. Goodbye.